Well, good morning, everybody. Uh, Fifth Tuesday in July. I'm Dan Leaf from the PIMC board. Great to welcome everybody here this morning. And this is our last Tuesday with Kate Davies and the exploration of mindfulness of the body that we've done all of the month of July. So, Kate, great to see you again. Yeah. Um, I'll let you take it away.
Thank you, Dan, and good morning, everyone. This morning I'm coming to you from the Aloka Earth Room in San Rafael, California, where I'm staying with my dear friend Aya Santachita for a week. So that's why the background looks a little different. So this is the final session, as Dan mentioned, in this series on mindfulness of the body, the first foundation of mindfulness. And if you're familiar with this teaching, you probably know that the last set of contemplations for mindfulness of the body in the Satipatthana Sutta are the contemplations on death, or in Pali, Maranasati. And that's what I want to explore a little with you this morning for the next hour or so. And our format today will be much the same as on previous Tuesdays this month. We'll start by offering a few reflections on this practice, on this topic. Then I will lead a guided meditation, and then I will open it up for your comments and reflections. But before we begin, I'd like to introduce you to my companion. So here she is. I hope you can see her. So her name is Kate, and when I'm at home, she sits on my desk as a reminder of my own mortality. And I like having her with me every day because she reminds me about impermanence and the fleeting nature of time, of life. And in this way, Kate is very good at helping me to set priorities about how I spend my time, what I do with my life. She really is very, very helpful in that regard. She also reminds me to keep everything in perspective and to lighten up and to not take myself quite so seriously all the time. So sometimes I like to talk to her, to joke with her. And I'll ask her, I'll say, "Why are you so calm, Kate?" And she'll smile with a toothy grin and say, "Because nothing gets under my skin." Or I'll say, "Why is everything so funny to you?" And she'll start twitching a little bit and say, "Because it tickles my funny bone." Or I'll ask, "What are your favorite types of jokes?" And she'll point to her upper arm and she'll say, "The humorous ones." So, okay, you get the idea. I'm going to put Kate down now. So let's get a little bit more serious. This practice, Maranasati, usually translated as mindfulness or recollection of death, is very important in Buddhism. And the Buddha himself supposedly said, "Of all the footprints, that of the elephant is supreme. Similarly, of all the mindfulness meditation practices, the one on death is supreme." So, in other words, Maranasati is just a really excellent form of meditation. And why is this? I think it's because it invites us to let go, to accept things as they really are, impermanent, temporary, contingent. And in this way, this practice can help us to prepare for our own inevitable deaths, and also the deaths of those who we love and care about. An awareness of death, even though the timing is uncertain, can motivate us to, you might say, take care of business, to make sure that there are no loose ends remaining in our lives. And at this basic kind of practical level, this might mean updating your will or your funeral preferences, but at a deeper level, an awareness of death, I think, can inspire us to do and say everything that we need to, everything that we want to those we love, without leaving anything left unsaid or undone. Perhaps there's someone we need to ask for forgiveness, or someone we would like to forgive, but never quite got around to it. Perhaps you'd like to tell someone how much you love them, how much they've meant to you in your life, but there's never been quite enough time. I think this is a really important benefit of this death practice, to really set our priorities and to say and do what we need to do. In his wonderful book, The 5 Invitations, Discovering What Death Can Teach Us About Living More Fully, by Frank Ostaseski. Some of you may know it. It really is a lovely book. He says, embracing the truth that all things inevitably must end encourages us not to wait in order to begin living each moment. We stop wasting our lives on meaningless activities. That's certainly my experience of this practice. So I think the first gift of Maranasati practice is the reminder not to wait, to live each moment as if it matters, because it does. Each moment does matter. It might be our last. A second gift of this practice, I think, is that as death becomes more familiar to us, it perhaps becomes a little less scary. The fear of our own death can diminish so that we can die in a state of peace rather than agitation. We can begin to see that death isn't bad or wrong. It's entirely natural. It's a normal, everyday occurrence, nothing special. And what really dies anyway? Nothing. Everything is transformed into something else. Thich Nhat Hanh said, the fact is that nothing is born, nothing dies. It is impossible for a cloud to die, so it is impossible for anything to die, to become nothing. That's why the meditation on death is so helpful. It helps us to see that there is no death. There is no birth and no death. There is only transformation. Nothing can be lost. End of quote. And so with this understanding, we can see that even as we die, we will be transformed into something new. Perhaps a tree, a blade of grass, a butterfly. just as we were transformed from other things to become human. And so this amazing, incredible cycle of life goes on, and we can be at peace with it. We can be comfortable with it, content with it. It's nature. It's just nature. A third benefit, I think, of the recollection of death is that as we become more familiar with it, perhaps less scared of it, it gets easier to support others during their dying process and to be with their friends and families who are grieving. And I've certainly had this experience this year several times already with friends and neighbors dying. As we get less emotionally reactive about the inevitability of death, we can comfort and console others and perhaps be a source of strength for them when they feel vulnerable and scared about their own deaths or the deaths of those they love. This practice allows us to appreciate our own vulnerability and the vulnerability of all beings. We can see how everyone experiences suffering, how everyone gets sick, how everyone grows old, and how everyone dies. And appreciating how we're all vulnerable to death, I think, can connect us with others in a very deep level, in a way that allows us to support them and be with them, really strengthening and building relationships, appreciating this common vulnerability to death naturally leads to an upwelling of compassion, the desire to alleviate the suffering of others. When we understand that everyone suffers, everyone grieves and mourns, and everyone will die, that well-wishing of compassion kind of spontaneously and naturally and generously arises in the heart. And we can offer that to others. Another benefit of this practice, I think, is that as we gain a deeper appreciation, a deeper understanding of impermanence and the inevitability of death, there's a tendency for equanimity to grow. As we see that everything and everyone is impermanent, including ourselves, it gets a little easier perhaps to surf life's ups and downs, to accept the joys and the sorrows. We become perhaps a little less emotionally reactive to the changes of life because we see that this is just the way life is. Nothing is guaranteed. And understanding this can greatly reduce the suffering of attachment and emotional reactivity. We crave less, we cling less, we get perhaps a little less upset, we worry a little less, get a little less frustrated when life doesn't go our way, because we understand that nothing stays the same. Everything we love, everything we desire, everyone we cling to will change. So what's the point in getting upset? I think this is an amazing benefit of Maranasati practice. And I think for me, perhaps the greatest gift of this practice is that it leads to a much greater sense of gratitude and an increased zest for life. It reminds me of how precious life is and the importance of each and every moment. And the more I can feel fully connected to and aware of each moment, the more alive I feel. So gratitude for this gift of life, I think, is a really significant benefit of this practice. So those are some gifts of Maranasati practice that I've noticed in my own exploration of this topic. And I want to end with another quote from Thich Nhat Hanh. He said this: "This body is not me. I am not caught in this body. I am life without boundaries. I have never been born, and I have never died. Over the wide ocean and the sky with many galaxies, all manifests from the basis of consciousness. Since beginningless time, I have always been free." He continues, "Birth and death are only a door which we go in and out. Birth and death are only a game of hide and seek. So smile and take my hand and wave goodbye. Tomorrow we shall meet again, or perhaps even before. We shall always be meeting again at the true source, always meeting again on the myriad paths of life." End of quote. So let's move into a guided meditation now, into doing some practice. And I'd like to start by just saying that if at any point during this meditation you feel scared or overwhelmed or emotionally reactive, if it's too much in any way, please relax and do some loving kindness practice for yourself. Let my words fall out of your awareness and look after yourself. Offer yourself some loving kindness. Okay. Let's begin as we usually do, just by establishing a meditation posture, upright and stable. Sitting with dignity. Coming into the present moment. Closing your eyes if you'd like to. Taking a few full deep breaths to come into presence. And inviting the broad space of awareness to open up inside you, particularly in your body, letting your awareness drop from your head down into the body and opening that space of awareness. And just noticing whatever's in your experience in this moment with kindness and gentleness, welcoming it, accepting it as best you can. Noticing what it feels like in particular to be in your body right now. Noticing its solidity, sitting here in the chair or on the cushion. Noticing the physicality, the materiality of the body sitting in this moment. Sensing the body's weightiness. Noticing perhaps the presence of earth element in the body as we explored a couple of weeks ago. The substance, the physicality of the body sitting here. Perhaps being aware of the effects of gravity on this body, drawing it downwards to the earth. The pull of gravity as the buttocks are drawn down into the cushion or the chair, or the legs or the feet contact the floor. Earth element, touching earth element. Now, letting your awareness lighten up a little bit and noticing sensations that are present in the body. Perhaps a tingling or a throbbing. Perhaps an area of tightness or contraction. Feeling the variety of sensations in the body, noticing the pleasant as well as the unpleasant. Being aware of the ever-changing field of sensations arising, passing away. Ever-changing sensations in the body. And as you notice the arising and falling away of sensations in this solid, earthen, grounded body, noticing perhaps that they might be received by something subtler, lighter. That within this earthen body there we can perceive a subtler, lighter body, what we might call a body of awareness, or the energy body. And this body of awareness experiences that everything that enters through the senses you can recognize sound as hearing and delight in musical patterns and birdsong. This body of awareness experiences images as seeing and can appreciate the loveliness and beauty of the natural world. It can experience food as taste and know that it's alive. This body of awareness that feels and smells. Entering this body of awareness, this body of aliveness. Observing how each breath that's drawn in through the nostrils of this heavy earthen body is experienced as aliveness by the body of awareness, by the awareness within. Now each breath connects the heavy earthen body with the lighter body of awareness. How each breath connects the heavy body, the earthen body, with the light body of awareness. Each breath connecting outer and inner. So precious. Allowing life to remain in the body. Experiencing each breath connecting the outer and the inner. Each precious breath as though it may be the last. Experiencing each beautiful, unique, precious breath as though it may never be followed by another. Letting the breath come and then letting it go. Sensing the ending of each breath as though it were the last. And with this, the connection between the heavy earthen body and the light body begins to loosen, begins to release. Each breath a letting go, each breath the last breath, the ending. You don't need to hold on to the breath. You don't need to hold on to life. We can let it go. Allowing each breath to go and not being attached to the next one. And as each breath ends, going with it. Don't have to hold on. Letting yourself die with each breath. Allowing yourself to float freely within this light body of awareness. Letting yourself die, letting yourself float freely. At peace. Letting go of everything. Letting go of your possessions. Your belongings. Letting go of your home. Letting go of your community, your family, your friends. Floating freely in this space of awareness. Letting go of all the roles of your life. Parent, spouse, son, daughter. Floating freely. Without attachment. And remembering that if any time this guidance becomes too much, letting the sound of my voice fade into the distance and just offering yourself some loving kindness. Now letting go of your personality, your habits, letting go of your name, letting go of your face, floating freely in this light body, this body of awareness. Gently, gently, releasing it all and floating free. And entering into bright, luminous, boundless space. Going into it further as each breath vanishes. Letting each thought and emotion dissolve. Letting go of fear. Letting go of longing. Letting go of shame. Letting go of pride. Leaving it all behind as you enter into this bright, luminous, boundless space. And opening to the vastness of this space. Opening to the wonder. Opening to the awe. Opening to the mystery. You are awareness, opening into awareness. Light dissolving into light. Just bright, luminous, boundless space. Floating free of all constraints. floating free of all limitations. And merging with the space. You are space dissolving into space. Light dissolving into light. Letting this luminous, boundless space hold you and support you. It loves you just as it has always loved you and always will. And sensing that this vast, limitless, boundless, luminous place is all you have ever sought, all you have ever wanted. Light within light, space within space. There's no inside or outside, no up or down. No left or right. Floating freely, free of the body, free of the mind. Peace. Calm. Stillness. This place that holds it all. And now from this, out of this limitless, luminous space, noticing something gently approaching, getting closer, It is the first breath of life. Gently observing this breath approaching, as if from far away, getting closer, and experiencing it entering the body. Each breath, the first. Each breath completely new, fresh. Each breath bringing you back into the body. And taking birth once again. Being born back into the body. This body of form. This body of earth. Taking birth again to love and to be loved. Taking birth to serve and be served. Taking birth to care and to be cared for. Awareness is entering the body as consciousness once again. Being born to live and love and laugh. Being born to bring healing to this troubled and hurting world. Being born for the benefit of all sentient beings. Once again, this light body, this body of awareness is clothing itself in form. Inhabiting this earthen body, this physical, substantial, material body. Each breath that comes in, so precious, a beginning, an opportunity for life, allowing us to stay a moment longer. Allowing us the healing and the love we took birth for. Each breath allowing us to hear and follow the teachings. Being part of the community of life. May all beings, being born, living, and passing away, may all beings know the peace of their own true nature. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. And may all beings be free from suffering. And when you're ready, coming back into this earthen body more fully, maybe sensing yourself, this body sitting on the chair or the cushion, your feet on the floor, the heaviness, the pull of gravity once again. And when you're ready, gently opening your eyes very slowly and coming back to this beautiful group.